Hi, Ron and Kimberly Olson here coming to you from our home office in Arizona. And we just got back here a little bit ago from spending a majority of the day at the park with our kids. And it was, we do homeschool our kids through the virtual academy, so we had a back to school park day as things are getting underway next week. And the awesome part about it is that my husband was able to go. We go to quite a few events where there's not very many dads there. And to me, that's really a tragedy. It's really sad because the reality is, I mean, so many people talk about bringing their wives home from work, and that's a great thing to do, but what do dads miss out on? Do they get to see the first steps? Do they get to see the baby's first smile? Do they get to participate in the sporting and activities and different events that the kids are in? And a lot of times, if it's during the day when most people are at a job, the answer is no, they don't get to. And I remember thinking back to a time when our first daughter was born. She was born early, and I was at that time we had a brick and mortar business, and I can remember that I was able to be there with my daughter, luckily for my husband, but I remember him practically in tears because he said, "I want to be there too. I want to see what she's doing too." And it still breaks my heart today to remember back about those things. And ever since then, I've had a drive, a determination in me to have my husband be at home with my family and with our kids, to participate in them growing up. But more than that, beyond that, I want other dads to be able to participate in their families too. They miss out on so much. It's time to bring our dads home. It's time for them to be a part of the family. It's time for them to see what really goes on at home. I think he has a new appreciation, kind of for what I go through in a day. And it's time that husbands do that. It's time that they really see what goes on at home. And maybe he can share a little bit more with you about that.
Well, the thing is that, there's, like Kimberly said, there's so much that you miss that goes on during the day. Like I said, Kimberly said, we were able to homeschool our kids, and I spent a little bit of time earlier this year that I was actually to stay away. I just spent a lot of time on the road, and I'll tell you what, living in a hotel, weeks on end is not all it's cracked up to be. And I just basically I got tired of it. I did it for 4 years, and we made good money, but the problem is that now my son's 3 years old now, and I missed a lot of things that I got to see in my girls when I was home more. But the cool thing is that as they grow, you're able to see all those those first times, because there's only a first time when they walk, there's only a first time when they talk. There's a first time when they start to understand, and there's only the first time that they start to actually have a real conversation. I mean, there's just those one little things that most dads don't ever get to see. And we have basically decided that it's our mission to bring moms and dads both home together so that they can raise their kids how they want to be raised, and how they can spend time with family, because we all know that family is the most important thing. Friends are great, but family is the most important thing in your life. And to be able to build those family relationships, spend time with your family, that is one of the biggest joys that we have.
And really, who's going to instill the values in your children? Do you want the values that they grow up with to be the values that you perceive and that you hold, and the things that you hold dear to your heart? Or do you want it to be somebody else's, at a daycare, or other family members sometimes have different viewpoints, and that's great if you have family that can help you out with your kids. That's probably the next best choice. But they don't always hold the same perceptions that you want to instill in your children, and that comes off and it comes through. So it's so important that, especially I mean, especially when they're young, but even as they grow, I mean, we have a tween now. That's kind of scary, a couple of them. So, you know, what values do you want them to have? What do you want them to grow up with? Because, you know, like Ron said, you only have those first times, and then those fleeting chances that happen just now and again in passing. It's the conversations, and you know, so many people spend 40, 60 hours of work a week at work, and how many of those little moments are they missing out on? Just the moments. They mean so much. They mean so much to the children. They may not always act like it means so much to them, but there will come a day when those things really do mean a lot, when they're so important. When you can take an afternoon off because you don't have to worry about being at a job or them being, you know, for us, for being at school, we can take off, we can go to a water park, go to a museum, you know, do whatever we want to do. The choice is ours. We're not tied. We're not tied to a job. We're not tied. We don't have to answer to anybody but ourselves. That's freedom. That's empowering. And that's what we want to do, is empower people to have those freedom and those choices.
Yeah, the thing is that, you know, you're probably thinking, well, what can I do? What can I do to have that type of lifestyle where I can basically just go and do what I want to do, with whom I want to do it, when I want to do it? And you know, it's all about timing. You know, timing is very important in any business. It really can mean the difference between success and failure. And the timing, we just want to let you know, the timing is right now. The Empower Network is the fastest growing business on the internet right now. They've paid out over about $11 million in commissions in the last 8 to 9 months. And right now we're around in the top 400 websites in the world. There's 36, as of yesterday, there's about $36,000 per day income earners.
Not to mention the fact that we personally have earned over $10,000 with Empower Network. Very part-time. Earned over $10,000.
How many phone calls have we made?
We actually haven't called anybody really. I mean, when we were old school marketers, so when we first got started, we did call a couple of our friends and stuff and let them know, hey, what's up, and some of our family and stuff. But as far as like talking to people and like calling them up and say, hey, you got to see this, we haven't done that. No. We haven't done it, and you know, we're really getting ready to step up our game, and we'd love for you to join us in this journey because, you know,
it can change your life. Yeah. It can absolutely change your life. But the thing is the timing is now. You know, with we're going into momentum. There's no other company ever that's ever been able to have $36,000 income earners. You know, there's about right now, there's 3 people that make $50,000 a month. There's 3 or 4 people now that are making $20,000 to $30,000 a month in income in just 9 months. But it's not about the huge incomes. Obviously, you're going to have that, okay? But it's making that extra $100 a month in residual income every single month. You can count on it. And I'll tell you what, those hundreds, they start to add up and add up and add up.
And then you get thousands.
And then you get thousands. Absolutely, you know. And so we just want you to you know, don't be a wussy and get started. Get started, because it's not for us, it's for you. It's for you and your family and what it can do for you. Because I'll tell you what, the most exciting thing is when you can say, boss, I can't afford to come into work today because I'm making more money at home than I can at my job. And that is freedom, to be able to actually, like I said, do the things that you want to do, when you want to do, with whom you want to do it. And so we encourage you to, you know, click the button, or wherever it's at, get registered, and then come meet us in San Diego. Come meet us in San Diego. We're excited because we actually have an opportunity right now where if you join us and go all in with us, we'll actually buy your ticket to San Diego. Mm-hmm. And we're also going to get together with a huge group of our team. We're going to get together, we're going to have dinner, and just mastermind in San Diego, and it's just going to be exciting. It's going to be the greatest thing that you've ever seen. Right now, we were at the event in Atlanta. I know if you've seen our videos, There's about 1,200 people there.
The biggest event of its kind ever already.
There's already 1,500 people registered in San Diego. We expect probably anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 people. And
we're not a year old yet.
This company is actually going to it's going to go to the moon. And so you have the opportunity, like I said, the timing is now. Get started, and we'll see you at the top. Have a great day.